Welcome back to Morning Express and a very good morning to you. 10th of June, it is 8:03 a.m. In studio with me this morning is life coach Laimani Bidali of also Alabaster Network Trust. And we're talking about being the best you and having that life coach, having that person who helps you through that process as well in your life. Our contacts are on your screen. If you want to talk to us, get your contribution in, you can call in. But before we went on break, Laimani, we're just, getting to that place of talking about some of those things that help us be at the place where we are better people, we are happier, have joy, peace of mind as well. And some of those things, I guess, to create in our lives is boundaries, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And boundaries are, number one, I look at boundaries from a very holistic perspective. I look at boundaries because we are made up of spirit, soul, and body. So I look at boundaries from the physical boundaries that you need to have, and boundaries are all about relationships. It's about how you relate with others. It's where you start and another person ends, and where the person starts and where they end.
Right.
Okay. So it's about knowing this is where I start and this is where I end. This is where this person starts and this is where they end, and being able to respect those boundaries. So that it's to do with your physical self, whether it's to do with because you also need self boundaries. You can't be whatever you want. Everything that Sophia wants, Sophia gets. There's got to be those. What are they called? They're going to be self-control.
Yes.
Then there's also going to be boundaries with your spiritual life. Who do you allow to speak into your spiritual life? You take in everything simply because it's branded God. Then you just take it all in.
There's a lot of God stuff.
God stuff there, yeah. And you just take it all in. So spiritual boundaries are very important. And boundaries to do with your emotions. And this calls for you being, self-aware. It's about knowing and self-aware and others aware. Well, if I notice that you're getting angry about an issue, that's not the time to try to be rational with you. It won't work.
Yeah.
So simply because I'm aware that you're now getting very angry about the issue, I will request that we first take a break,
right,
and then we can come back and continue talking about it, or we can talk about it later when both of us have taken a breather, or when I realize I'm also getting upset or agitated. I have to ask myself, why am I getting agitated like this? So it's about knowing how to relate with yourself and knowing how to relate with other people in a way that leaves you dignified, in a way that leaves the other person also dignified.
Right.
That's what boundaries really are all about.
Yeah. And it's important to be very, categorical in terms of when you're coming to that place of forming them, being very clear about them, because I find that most people are not, they're not very serious about their boundaries. They will put them up, but there will be a lot of leeway with it.
There's a lot of leeway because when your boundaries are not value-based and not based on anything, it's not just a question of just saying no. You got to ask yourself, what am I saying yes to? Okay? Wow. Because behind every no, there's also a yes. I could say no to no to you because I want to say yes to my rest. I want to say yes to something else that I want to do. So that allows me to be able to then stand by what I have said. Or when I've said yes, let my yes be yes. I've said yes because I'm saying no to something else. But I can't be saying yes to everything and no to everything at the same time. So if your boundaries are not underpinned by a value system, then you will find yourself having what I call paper boundaries. Today it's there, tomorrow it's not. So people don't actually know where to stand with you. Where do you? We don't know what you normally say, and she gets so upset because you're not able to point it out and say, when you say this is how it makes me feel. Right. You're not able to point it out because it's not value based. So that's why people end up with those boundaries at paper boundaries. Yeah.
Okay. And self-sabotage, where we find people being their worst enemies, that really, you'd imagine in life they're just people out to get you, out not to make you succeed. But in many cases, we are those people.
Yeah, you find that you are that person.
Ones. Yeah.
And one of the quickest tests to do to this is to look at the way that you speak to yourself every time you talk to yourself. If every time you talk to yourself, you're telling yourself, you're too much, you're too slow, you never get things right. This is what you're saying to yourself. Then how do you think the world is going to treat you if that's the way that you treat yourself? But also self-sabotage has got to do with the planning. Like, for example, let's even talk about something like weight loss. A lot of people want to lose weight, and they can even do a PowerPoint presentation about what they need to do, and they'll even give you handouts.
Yeah, they know.
They know. But why are they not doing it?
Right.
They keep so they will be eating a big piece of cake and say, let me just kill myself. So you know you're killing yourself.
Yeah, but
you go ahead and do it anyway. Isn't that self-sabotage?
Yeah.
Self-sabotage is doing things that don't support your goal outcome. You have this goal that you want to accomplish, but everything that you're doing is not supporting that which you want. So there's someone who said we are the only species that would aim at a certain thing and then run in the opposite direction. You know, I want to buy a house, but then you are not saving, you are not investing, you are not, there's nothing that you're doing, but you still say, lakini mimi yenyewe don't joke with me, don't sicheze.
I know.
But you haven't changed your spending habits.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you're doing to support that vision or that goal.
Wow.
So that is self-sabotage.
Okay.
It's because in every decision that you make, every moment, you're either making a choice that builds you up or a choice that brings you down.
Wow.
And when the choices that you're making are always bringing you down, you're always late. You're always you're always eating unhealthy. You're always sleeping in, saying just a little bit, just 30 more minutes.
Yeah.
So you're always 30 minutes behind. Then therefore you'll be late. Then therefore you'll be rushed. And therefore you'll be. It just it's a domino effect, and the result is can be it's predictable.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have a call online. Lydia from Nairobi is calling us. Lydia, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good. How are you?
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm hearing you well.
I'm well. Thanks for calling. Go ahead with your contribution.
Hello?
Lydia, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Go ahead.
I want them to know that I have listened to you and I'm really liking the program. And I have been looking for such a program and I've not been able to get one. So why are you located and what are the challenges for the program? Yes.
All right, Lydia, thank you for watching and for calling. Laimani will tell us about where you can find a Labaston and how you can get involved. So for you, in a nutshell, talking about women, because ultimately you want to be happy, feel good about yourself, be successful. What is it takes to be the best one can be? Because we're all here on earth because there's something that is unique in me, unique in Laimani, in the next person, that I can do so well that no matter who else we even share the same career, they cannot do. Yeah. Or the other way around. So what is it that gets us to that platform, to that place where we're being the best we were created to be?
It's as I said before, it's number one, stopping to take a self-audit of your life, to audit yourself really, to look into your life and say, that is where I want to go. That is my vision. What are some of the assets that I bring into that will support this vision? And the assets I'm talking about is in terms of your personality, in terms of your character, in terms of your skills, in terms of just having that sense of self-awareness, in terms of some of the habits that would support that goal. For example, you have the habit of study, that would be a good one to support your vision. If you have got a pattern of just being able to network and get the best out of people, that would be a good asset for you to leverage on. And then you then look at, most people do not stop to look at their liabilities. What are some of the habits, some of the patterns that will keep on tripping me? What keeps tripping me? Procrastination is one. Okay, control. Wanting to be a control freak, control everything and everybody is also it's a liability. The other pattern that I see a lot is the self-sabotage one, doing things that are not supporting where you want to go. Negativity. If I'm always negative about life, how can I end up having happy? What you're talking about, being happy, joy. There are people who are so negative about everything that they're watching the show now and they will say, why did they put those books there? They should have put something else.
Why is she wearing that blouse?
Why is she wearing that blouse? They're always negative. They go to people's weddings. It's not their wedding. Somebody else's wedding. They'll say, why did they pick these colors? Who picks these colors?
Oh my God. I know, and we see a lot of such people.
Negative. So negativity is also a liability. So it's about looking at some of those habits and some of those patterns that would support where you want to go, and then looking at some of the ones that will sabotage you and begin to deal with them. It's not just about knowing, it's beginning to deal with them. There are people who say, I'm angry like this because, you know, when I was young, my parents separated. So what? Do you want to continue being fueled and driven by your parents' choices? Or isn't it time that you also took responsibility for what you want to choose? Well, there are people who say, you know me, I drink like this because alcoholism runs in my family. Me, I've seen it. It runs there, you know. But that is now succumbing to that circumstance, as opposed to saying, I want to define my own circumstance. So help me, God. It's not going to be easy, but I want to define my own circumstance.
Okay.
So it's about stopping. We must stop. We must stop and take that moment to take stock of our life. There's no other way.
There's no other way.
There is no other way.
We must. And we have Mary as well on the line from Rongai. Mary, thank you for calling.
Yes.
Go ahead with your contribution.
How are you?
Great.
Hi, Bidali.
I'm well, thank you.
My name is Mary. I've been listening to you and I've read a lot about your program through my friend who was born through, but I've not been able to raise the fee to come. I seriously think I need this service from you, especially in line with marking the boundaries and focusing on what the vision I have. Because I realize in most cases you are hit by so much problems. At some point you think, really, do I have to follow on my vision? Because every other time you fall short of what you're supposed to do to follow up because of this and the other. You are hit left, right, and center socially and maybe economically. So how do I get to benefit from your program? Because when I hear from TV, that is it, and there isn't much I can get.
All right. Mary, you've been able to speak some of what I think she's touched on, wanting to be part of the program.
Yes.
And she's heard a lot about it, and some of the issues she's touched on is what we were talking about, the self-sabotage, and what she can be able to grow from. And maybe at this point, let's just tell people how they can get involved if they want to be part of Alabastron.
That's a question that keeps coming up. We do have, you came for an open day.
Yes.
We do have open classes now. We have decided to open, to have an open forums every Wednesday. In the month of June, starting tomorrow actually, the open forums will be at Othaya Road, gate number 29. You can go to our website, www.alabastron.org, and you can be able to find our contacts and ask us for the directions there. Now, the ones in Othaya Road will only be open for women. That is in June. But in July, the first 2 Wednesdays of July, we'll have open forums at KICC every Wednesday. So July, every Wednesday, and this one's open to both men and women, because there are men who want to bring their wives to the program, but they want to ascertain, they want to first find out, you guys are going to change what's it about. So we've said it's okay, they too can come for the open forums that will be at KICC in July. And when they come, they will learn everything about the program. They will learn about their investments, because they're asking about the financial investment, but I keep saying, never ask for how much is something before you know what it is that you're investing in. You know, first come and find out what is it. Is it for me? Then how much is it? Okay. So, and that is what the open classes are all about. And in our website, we have all the information about the open classes.
And the website is
www.alabastron.org.
Yeah. www.alabastron.
Yes. .org.
Yeah. Okay, you can get more information there. We must bring this to a close, but I need to ask you, because I remember when you took more of this work that you're doing to television, and watching these women come out and talk about, very personal issues, very hurtful issues on television. What informed that? And did it for you do what you aimed for it to do?
I think what informed that is how do we move people from stuck to significance. People are stuck, and especially where people feel most stuck is in relationships. How do I move from this? And relationships, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm also talking about relationship with their own siblings, and then with their own parents, with their grandparents, and those relationships are so strained. So it was of concern to me, and I said, why don't we speak about the things that people don't talk about, because we are socialized, not talk about our families and not talk about the things that are ailing and eating us. And so I said, would there be people who would be bold and courageous to come and share, talk about this in a way that, so that when other people watch, it benefits a bigger audience, okay? So, and there are so many people who came out and said, I want to talk about it. So we screened them, and they said, to see whether they'd be comfortable talking about it on television, and they were. Then I asked them, what will your people, what will your family say when they see you on TV talking about yourself in such an open way? They said, it's not, where I'm at right now, it's not about anybody else, because it's either I do this program in this way or I'm going to die. So it was a do or die kind of situation. So what informed that decision was, how do we move people from stuck to significance? How do we speak about the things that we don't talk about, but yet the things that are really ailing us? We need to stop just resigning ourselves to, hey, you know, that one is now going through depression. You know,
that one is suffering. She needs prayers.
That one needs prayers. We needed to do something about it, and one of the ways was to just show Kenyans out of their shells, and that by just bringing the program Unspoken. And by the time we're in season 2, I remember that by now we have more than 100 people who want to be on the show. So that means the program did achieve something, because when people are coming voluntarily and you have a waiting list of 100 people, that's amazing.
It's amazing. And all the best with your work.
Thank you so much.
I think people getting to that place where somebody wants to be the best they can be, it's an important place, and it's a lot of work. I like that you said it's work. You have to stop, take that audit, and put all the work that is necessary to get you to where you want to be. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Laimani Bidali, pleasure. Life coach, as well as, can I call you CEO of Alabastro? Alabastro Network Trust, and you can find them online for more details of how you can be part of the program. Stay with us. Our person of interest is finally here, and will be joining us in about a minute. Don't go away.